everyone. Welcome to my discussion on Martin Luther King. I just wanted to give you a idea of a speech that he gave from a high school speech somewhere in the South, I believe. Letting you know a little bit of his tactics to create information for yourselves when you start speaking. Meaning, Martin Luther King was like a be teacher. He was like a ways of being teacher. However, when a lot of people listened to Martin Luther King, they only heard race and color. They didn't actually hear the messages that he was delivering, which is oftentimes what goes unheard when you're listening to real educators. You get lost in the excitement. So let's start with just saying the name of his speech is "What's Your Life Blueprint?" The way he starts his speech out is he starts it with graciously thanking the audience, which is a tactic of letting you know he's thankful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for he's literally like spending 5 minutes thanking you. He's giving acknowledgement to those in the space, telling you how he's literally showing you ways of being. So it's like, thank you for the students. Thank you for the educators. Thank you for the location. He says the name of the location like 3 or 4 times. It's called Spectrum. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then he tells you to tell your friends. So you're already in a good space. And at this point, he hasn't even spoken about race. He even tells you in the beginning, he says, we're going to have a great night. We are going to have a great night, he says. Then he pulls names like Nipsey Russell, which I thought was quite interesting considering we had Nipsey Hussle. And then he says, tell your friends. By coming here, you'll experience civil rights. By coming here, you don't do anything else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else needs to be done. Nothing else needs to be done. Nothing else needs to be done. Just by coming here, you'll have civil rights. You'll be civil rights. However, that's not what's going on with Black Lives Matter, just to let you know. But let's focus on what Martin Luther King has to say, because I can't stand Black Lives Matter. I love Martin Luther King. I hate Black Lives Matter. Although in his conversation, he says never hate anyone. I'm sorry, but I hate Black Lives Matter. But it's not like where I stir over the wrath of what I'm going to do to Black Lives Matter. No, I'm protecting people. Okay, he tells you, okay, so by coming here, you'll be civil rights. So it's like, come and hang out, and we'll start learning how to be. This is to the Black American community. Then he says, I'm honest and I'm really busy, meaning we're growing civil rights for people, and it's really exciting. Now I want you to think about what your role in this, what is your blueprint in all of this? The question of that is crucial, meaning you're not going to let anybody else tell you what your role is, because you have a definite purpose on what you're here for in this planet, and it might be music, and it might be sweeping streets, and I'll get to that shortly. But you don't have to do anything different aside from be civil rights. Which way life shall go? It's up to you. It's your decision. It's not Obama's decision. It's not anybody else's decision. It's your decision. You create your blueprint. You're the architect that draws the blueprint for the guide model for those who want to build, he says. You're the architect who draws the blueprint to guide the model for those who want to build. A building will not be built without a good, solid blueprint, which is what? The business plan that I spoke to you and have taught you about already. You don't have to have a business plan even based on a work business. It could be a business plan based on goals of a running, which is going to be a short business plan. But at least you have a direction in what direction you want to go. Not a handout. Do you have a proper, solid, sound blueprint? It's like your action plan. And then the cool part about the action plan is that you have to be malleable in the action plan. I've talked to you about this before. This is actually a speech for all people, by the way. It's so interesting how y'all all think it's all about race. It literally isn't even about race, but it's all about race. He's literally, he's like, I just like love him so much. So this is your goal. And then you would have had your starting point here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, well, that worked out, but that didn't work out, but this went that. And then, well, that happened. And then now I'm at my goal. But I did the work. That's basically what Martin Luther King is saying. You must have a deep belief in your own identity, your own dignity, your own worth. Personal dignity, personal worth, your own somebody in here. In here. You count. You're worth it. You must always feel that your life has significance. There's no shame in your color. There's no shame in your race. There's no shame in your hair. There's no shame in your face. No shame. Your life matters. Only here, this is the part that gets a little bit sketchy, so stay with me here. You must only hear that black is beautiful. That's a way of being. Not black is beautiful, but that I am beautiful. That's perfect, team. Subliminal messages. You must not be, this is Martin Luther King saying this. You must not be lured into cosmetics. You don't need to process your hair. That's what he said back then. You must have the principle of being somebody. I mean, I am somebody. I am beautiful. I am worth it. Now, what's my blueprint? You must have the determination to achieve excellence in various fields of endeavor. With your good, solid blueprint. Meaning, this is what this is for. No matter what happens along the way, you will be the best that you can be. You will be the best that you can be. In the various fields of endeavor. So every corner that doesn't turn out your way is a pathway to get you to the goal, but it also is a lesson, and it might steer you away from the thing that you weren't supposed to have. Because that thing you weren't supposed to have might be a gunshot wound, might be a car accident, might be some hoe. What's your life purpose? Sometimes it starts off with a goal. I'm a football player. Okay, well, cool, you're a football player. That's a goal. But what's some ways of being around a football player? And what are some actions that a football player would have to take to become a football player? If you're a doctor, want to be a doctor? Well, what's some actions? What's some actions that I need to take to become a doctor? Then you start researching it. Once you have some layers of research into a pathway, which is your blueprint, you can then add ways of being, as in you can even add in these. And I've listed the 17 laws of success in association with what Martin Luther King has said. The goal also is to have the experience of yourself, of to do anything that you do and to do it well, even if you think you fail, because remember, the only person that can tell you that you're a failure is yourself. Not your mom, not your dad, not the hoe, not this one, not that one, not the police, not that one, not that one. Do it and do it well. And there's even a song about it. Doing it and doing it and doing it well, doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doors are opening to each of you. That is, if red comes into office, honestly, because blue is going to tear y'all's asses out, and you're never going to get anywhere. The great challenge that's facing you now is they're trying to create your unreadiness for it. They are literally telling you one thing, but they are trying to make you unready for it, meaning they're giving you money, free money, without training you, which is what this is. Because in order to get to the goal of your feeling, it's a feeling that you're battling, it's not really reality, it's all made up. In order to be at the goal that you want to be, you must be ready. Make a better mousetrap. Emerson says that. And that just means be the best version of it. Be the best. And not like in competition best, because there's room for plenty. But think of a mousetrap. Have you ever played the game Mousetrap? And it's like in a light-hearted kind of way too, by the way. The world will always bring the past. Gotcha. Found ya. Gotcha. Awesome. Really cool to meet you. Oh my gosh, this is such a kismet meeting today in my dental chair. Study hard. Burn the midnight oil. That means hustle. But not like hustle in the way that the old days of hustle was like selling marijuana on the streets, which by the way is like, you know what I mean? It's like suppression, same shit I'm going through. I totally understand it, by the way. But you see me working my ass off. Taking the abuse and still expressing my voice and working my ass off. From sun up to sun down, I'm still working at like 6, 7 o'clock at night and on a Saturday. 2 videos with 20-something, 30-something TikTok videos, 0 views. Literally that easy to create your jams on NFTGO. And you guys who have music, there's got to be a way for you to re-record it and then create it into an NFT. Then act as if it's a new hit and then re-release it. Salt-N-Pepa TLC. Victims of the music industry. Not to mention Lil' Kim and some other female rappers from the old days. And I saw the documentary. In spite of your situation, stay in school. This is Martin Luther King's words. When you discover, set it out as if God told you to do it. And do a good job. Take out the NEGRO word. That's what he says. Take out the N word, NEGRO, and just say person. Meaning the fact that you always say brown girl, black this, and black that is why there is an effort, effectiveness for it to be the focus. If you just become, then we all just become. And your professionalism sells itself. That's how I've always experienced Black Americans. Do it the best. No one can do it. No one can do it the best like you. You embody it before you become it with humility attached to it, which is why you go back to this. We need more Black Americans in this community. Street sweepers sweep like Michelangelo. Sweep the streets so well, people will pause. That's success. Dang, that looks good. I know. I'm so proud of myself. It was really messy. Hard work pays off. Be a pine tree or be a shrub. Be the best shrub that you can be. Or be the best tree, pine tree that you can be. Be conversation. Be you. Be the best of who you are. That's like tapping into your higher self. Becoming a person, not a color. And Booker T. Washington wants me to shout him out. Thurgood Marshall And Frederick, but I can't remember what his last name is, but he's my bestie. And then Langston Hughes. So you should be going back in your history and just pulling out not the color of a person, but what Booker T. Washington was talking about to rise up you as a culture, not as a color. Because that's the missing link in every conversation. You all miss the boat every time. It's not about your color. When he was speaking, Martin Luther King is speaking, he speaks of Muhammad Ali, Nipsey Russell, I'm trying to think, Sidney Poitier, thriving in the environment. And if more people would have thrived like Sidney, Muhammad, and the like, then your advancement would have advanced. However, the focus on the government was on color. Human nature cannot be cataloged. Nights of oppression against affection to inspiration. So if someone oppresses you, what can you do to utilize it for inspiration? What can you take it on a journey of a story for empowerment instead of a disempowering victimization that never stops? Try rising above. Let me see how I was in this situation and what I didn't say or didn't do that got me into this situation. And let me take responsibility for it. And then let me see what they're up to. And then let me really take a look. Because y'all are really smart. It's really annoying how you're really, really self-aware and stuff. It's incredible. You guys are also coming from a different networking of brain capacity. Does that make sense? It's this is like Russian to American to all these different cultures. It's the same thing. Let's see. You can be somebody. That's what Martin says. I say it too, but I'm telling you, this is Martin Luther King's words. Black and white are the same. It's measured by the soul, the mind, and the man. Be a commitment to the eternal, primarily. Wait. You know I hate when I can't read my writing. I had to write fast because he was talking fast. Be a commitment, do the eternal principle. He's like, yeah, I like that. It's funny. Beauty, love, and justice. Never allow you to hate someone, which becomes the victim. If you hate someone and you don't hate someone properly, Martin, then you become the victim. You have a responsibility to create a nation and make a better life for everybody. For everyone. You must be involved for justice and freedom, and you must not give self to things that will not serve you, which is Black Lives Matter. They're short term. We're looking for you to be long term. See? Method. Militant, but does not destroy property. He says, build, baby, build. And when people do destroy property, we as a nation stop them. Build, baby, build. Learn, baby, learn. Earn, baby, earn, he says. Learn, baby, learn. Earn, baby, earn. Build, baby, build. Earn, baby, earn. Wait. Build, baby, build. Learn, baby, learn. Earn, baby, earn. Build it. Learn it. Earn it. Powerful commitment. That's the journey. Dark yesterday, writes tomorrow. Goal of selfhood, dream of brotherhood. Understand good win, let no one stop us. There's a story of a mother to son, and I didn't write it all the way. It's written by Langston Hughes. And then the mother says to the son, life for me has been taxing, not as in money, but as in struggle. No carpet. She's like, every time something, all the time when I was in trouble, I always turned to rally. Like, she kept going. She turned when she needed to turn. Another trouble. She made actionable ways to keep going, to stay uplifted. Don't stop. Find it hard, still go, keep going. For no one of us hasn't been taxed. Like taxing times, like rough times. That's what old days they used to talk. I can't read my writing again. For none of us haven't been greatly taxed, but you got to keep going. All of us have been through struggle. Run if you can't fly. If you can't run, then you need to walk. If you can't walk, then you need to crawl. But you got to keep moving. And that is Martin Luther King. I just so happened to come across that on a video. And I took the time to stop and really listen to the words that Martin was speaking, because I've been talking to Martin Luther King, and I've told y'all this for some time now. But this is the first time that I ran into a speech that I was compelled. Well, actually, the first time I ever ran into a speech by him. But let me just tell you that he's amazing. And I do believe that he was murdered. I mean, you guys know he was assassinated. But I think it was also by his own community. Just to let you guys know. That's how malicious this shit is. Let me occur to you as if I'm helping you, but the real occurrence is I just want you to do the evil bidding for me, and I will leave you disempowered in the end. And that's what I want you to consider the next time you go to one of your online Black Lives Matter meetings, letting you listen. Because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand this work that I know. They're regurgitators. Utilizing you with fueling fires of color when that's not the problem. Thank you for listening. I'm really glad that you were here to join me this evening. I want to say one more thing about Martin Luther King is that as he stepped off of stage, and it was so interesting because the crowd would always clap in the most powerfully inopportune moments to let me know that they weren't actually listening to the words, but it's like it is what it is, right? And then at the very end, Martin Luther King, they're like applauding his graciousness. He's so gracious, so amazing. And he literally is standing there grounded in himself, knowing that the applause don't really mean anything to him. He's just awareness of the space versus taking it on as if he's some hero. That's called humility. And that's why Martin Luther King deserves to have a day for Martin Luther King. Don't you make, he always makes me cry. Okay, I have to go.